Hey guys and gals, Mr. Know-It-All here. Glad to have you with us today. When I hear my wife say, Houston, we have a problem, I know that we have a problem. As you can see by this right here, there it goes. Well, we have a leak. The problem with this type of leak is you could open up a whole can of worms fixing this because you don't know what the pipe is back here. You don't know if this is threaded on or if this nut is part of that pipe. You don't know yet. So we have a way to figure that out. But this is our tub, and you can see how much water's in it. Now you can call a plumber in if you want and have them do it for you and pay them untold amounts of money. But we're going to do this ourselves, and I'll show you how easy it is. I have to shut the water off in order to do this job. You can't just shut it off here because that shuts it off in the valve. That doesn't shut it off where it's leaking back there. It's coming from the back side of this nut right there. All right, so we take this little rig and we poke it up behind to see where the leak is coming from, and this really helps. These are one of the handiest tools out there as far as I'm concerned. And I can see the pipe right there looking for the leak, and it didn't end up being where I thought it would be, but this is a very handy tool. It didn't come in very clear on the video because it's hard to shoot a video on a video, but trust me, the screen is perfectly crystal clear when you use it. But talk about help. This truly did. So these things are very handy to have because you can get into areas you normally couldn't get into. Again, I do not want to open up a can of worms and have to remove the vanity, which would not be good, or to have to cut the backside of the vanity out, which I don't want to do. All right, so I'm under here and I look, and here is the plunger, and it's leaking right there too. I would have never caught that. That's a real slow leak, but enough to ruin your cabinets. So we're going to use the good pipe dope on that as well. This stuff is the best. All right, this pipe dope is the best you can buy, and we're going to put it on there to seal that up. And I don't care if it's self-sealing. Obviously, the apparatus was not self-sealing because it's leaking. So we're going to fix it once for all. Alright, when you're putting this back together, make sure the pin goes in the hole of the plunger and somebody up above tells you if it's working. Alright, pipe dope on up here. That's tightened up now. Tight as we can get it. And see how loose that, oh, look how loose that is. I can do it by hand. It's kind of funny, I grabbed the valve and thought I'd try turning it, and the whole valve is turning off. So for some reason that valve is really loose on that pipe. So we're going to investigate that, and you'll be surprised to find out what it is. Alright, we're going to need the tub. You can see the ferrule right there. It's a little brass sleeve that goes over the copper pipe. And that goes up to it, and when you tighten the part I took off, the valve, that pulls this tight to it, should seal. So if you have an upstairs bathroom, you got to open those valves up. See that? And there it is. Crack right in the nut part. Crack in the nut. Poor Peanut, this baby squirrel. When I had it on, I put it on the fitting, tightened it up, and it oozed out right there, and I knew that's where my crack is. So we're going with steel this time. No more brass. this is what's going on. How we remove the ferrule. Very simple. You have to cut a groove in it very carefully without hitting the copper pipe. And we use this little riggins right here. And you very lightly tap it in. Just tap it into it.
Tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
And then you take your screwdriver or a sharp chisel, which I use this right here, and I just got under it, and you pry that up and it'll slide right off. It worked perfectly, and now we're going to put a new ferrule on it and a new fitting. And how we find the leaks is we take a piece of this paper towel and we lay a nice clean piece down underneath the sink, and your soaps and Kleenex boxes will all go on here, whatever you're going to put there. But if there's any discoloration in this, watch what happens when a little bit of water touches it. That's the color it'll turn, dark blue, and you know you've got a leak. It doesn't hurt to have this under there, under each one of your sinks. It's an easy way to find a leak because a lot of times you don't find the drip until your whole vanity is ruined. So, very good tip for you right there. As we always say, Mr. Know-It-All, out.